We have observed some of the resilient housing models in Sindhupalchok district. What is the special features of these houses?
The houses that you have observed in the Sindhupalchok are built for the most affected by the earthquake of 2015. These are using technologies which are approved by the government of Nepal and can be built with local materials without using additional materials like wood. This incorporates the use of GI, that is galvanized iron-based containment reinforcement masonry. People can build with stone and mud without bringing in additional material from a far distance. And the cost of the construction is also very low. Even with 3 to 3.5 lakh rupees, a person is able to build a reasonable sized house. And it is earthquake resilient. So this is a special feature of the house that you have visited. An additional feature is that these have been built for the poorest of the poor in 5 VDCs in Sindhupalchok, whose selection and identification as beneficiary for this project supported by European Commission is done through a very consultative participatory process, and 65 of such households have been selected in Sindhupalchok and Dolakha, of which you have visited one of the beneficiaries.
Yeah. There is still a shortage of skilled workforce in the villages in the construction sector. How has the project been helping address this need?
Yeah. The number of houses that need to be reconstructed after the earthquake is unusually large for any country to cope with the existing number of masons. So a large number of masons trainings become paramount to meet the requirements. So even the house that has been constructed is done through a technology demonstration model, meaning this house is built using local masons who are getting trained on resilient technologies. So in each house construction, 8 to 10 more masons are created. So by constructing about 665 houses, we have supported the creation of more than 600 masons. But this is still a part of the requirement. Many more masons need to be created, and that is what the UNDP as well as other projects are engaged, even from other partners are engaged in supporting the need for meeting the skilled workforce.
Yeah, what are other plans to expand this intervention?
An important feature of our work in Sindhupalchok and Dolakha, with support from the European Commission EU DPECO program, is that we are focused on bringing door-to-door assistance in the form of social workers and trained masons called Avas Nirman Sathis, who move from house to house, observing the construction techniques, patterns, and providing guidance and support on the ground. These teams also support the beneficiaries and the poor who are reconstructing in meeting the administrative requirements, in obtaining the tranches, in getting the necessary inspections and certifications done. So based on all the experience that we have gained over the last 2 years in Sindhupalchok and Dolakha, the same approach is being replicated for meeting the needs of over 26,912 households in Gorkha district with support from Government of India. And we have quite a few other initiatives which are part of this project, which we are also replicating there, such as a mobile technology van, which is a modified 4-wheel drive, which is going around from village to village, providing basic information on how to build resilient houses, such as the model that you see in front. So these are some of the approaches that we are replicating and expanding further.
Can you please describe about the structure house that is in front of you? How does it resist earthquake?
Yeah. Typically, an earthquake resilient house needs to have a few features, such as corner reinforcement or a vertical reinforcement. It also needs horizontal bands, and it needs a good interlinkage between the roof as well as the structural or non-structural elements such as the walls. So in this house you can see that there is a horizontal band which is going right through each of the walls, which is linked with a vertical timber post, and the roof is also linked through ties to the main structure. This is a very good house. Unfortunately, it costs quite a bit to build because timber is getting very expensive and very scarce. So the technology that we have adopted in Sindhupalchok and Dholaka, 39 of the 65 houses, built using an improvisation of this model, which has recently, meaning last year, been approved by the government of Nepal as one of the permissible models. Instead of using timber, it uses GI, which is galvanized iron wire, for tying up. It's simple, it's just like tying up a stack of books when we are carrying around. We tie it with a thread. The same thing happens that the stone masonry and mud masonry is tied vertically with a stack with a wire, and then you have cross links which go across the structure in the wall, which holds the wires together so that the structure moves. It reacts to the earthquake forces, but it doesn't collapse on us. So with that simple improvement, we are able to make redundant this use of timber. And instead of the horizontal bands which use a lot of these timber and wood, which is again quite expensive, the GI construction method uses weld wire mesh, which is again very easily available and easily transportable. So that is the improvisation that we have made, and because of that, the cost comes down significantly by up to 30%.
Do you want to say something about this project at last? Overall.
This is about the eco-program.
About this project.
I mean, you have this program and other things besides the houses, so mason training. There are other things like mason training and other things that you wanted to say last time.
Yeah.
So these things.
Even before the earthquake, UNDP has been working a lot with the Department of Urban Development and Building Construction. The earthquake provided a great impetus for us to take forward several of these initiatives. Like we have been working on building permit systems, and now that have become mandatory in many of the newly created municipalities. We have also been working on new technologies such as the GI wire. We have also supported the development of debris block masonry, meaning people can build with the rubble that is available outside their house. It can be compacted into blocks. And then there are support that have been provided in reaching out to the affected communities through the mobile van. So these are some of the initiatives that UNDP has piloted after the earthquake, and they have proved quite successful in reaching out to a large number of vulnerable and affected communities.
Yes, thank you very much.